They're never going to let you back in the state, David. How are they trying to defend you today?
They're very a traditional team, so it doesn't matter who they play. They want to play their normal defense, which is a lot of cover 4 to one side to the field and cover 2 to the boundary. But they try to mix up a little bit of 4-man, which means that the safety kind of double teams me. So it was a variation of a lot of things out there today.
So you solved your yards after the catch problem on that 60-yard run.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was nice and sunny, so I had to show it off. And also on the in route, when I broke outside, I had to show it off again.
And playing 3 quarterbacks, your thoughts on that? And obviously it seemed to be effective and accomplished its goal.
I think it was just to show that it was a team effort, not only playing 3 quarterbacks, but the amount of receivers they got to play and the amount of touches that the receivers got to. It was just a different flow that gave energy to the offense, but it was never a stale moment in the offense when either of those guys came in.
When you first heard about this idea, what went through your mind?
I actually didn't hear about it till I think the Friday, so yesterday. We heard about it. Of course, we go over our first 8 plays, and it was we'll bring in Jack, and then we'll bring in Burton. So, I was happy. Just so those guys be able to get a shot. They have phenomenal abilities, and Coach Brown was able to put them in the right situation to show them off.
But through your mind, were you like, okay, how is this going to work?
No, I trust Coach Brown 100%. So if he says, then I know it's going to work.
How do you develop a mind meld with all 3 guys?
What was the question?
How do you develop a mind meld with all 3 guys? How do you get on the same page every time when guys are switching?
I think staying after practice. All those guys stay after practice every day, so it's definitely a chemistry that the receivers and the quarterbacks have together. Even if Michael Lama would have came in, I think the chemistry still would have been the same throughout all those 4 to 3 guys.
Your 240 yards were a Kinnick Stadium record and the second most ever for a Purdue player in a game. Can you wrap your head around that? I mean, did you have any idea you were putting up those kind of numbers today?
I did it until the end of the game, where I was going to talk to my mother, and she told me that I had 240 yards. So it was definitely nice hearing it from her. I was just going out there trying to make plays and just trying to find any way to beat the number 2 team in the country. So I knew that not only myself but the whole receiving corps would have to come be one of the reasons that we won the game.
What can this win do for you guys going into the second half of the season?
It definitely gives us a boost. We know we let 1 slip away from us 2 weeks ago, and it definitely gives us a boost. Defense is playing phenomenal, and offense, we had our moments, but I think we're finally clicking now, and next week hopefully we can get the job done again.
When did you get an idea in camp that this defense was different and that the way that it was playing against you guys in practice was going to lead into the games like what we saw today?
Really started in spring ball. Even though a lot of the defensive guys were out and a lot of the offensive guys were out too, the defense was just swarming to the ball. And I haven't seen that in the last years that I've been here. It was just a different type of energy. Those guys buying what Coach Lambert is teaching them, and it obviously shows every Saturday.
What is it about Iowa? It's the 3 outstanding games in a row.
I don't really think this has nothing to do with Iowa. I just think it has to do with my preparation going into the game. I was definitely more prepared this game than the previous 2 games, just understanding that they were the number 2 team in the country. They had 6 interceptions, so I knew that I have to play a very clean game on my part.
Coach Brown said the reason you do so well is you're one of the best wide receivers in the country. What about your preparation and just your game makes you one of the best in the country?
I just think that I just love the game so much, so I don't only watch myself, but I watch some of the top receivers around the country also. Just try to get they're the top receivers around the country for a reason, and I try to learn from them also. Like Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Drake London from USC. Those guys are phenomenal.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Anything else, Ron?